there is only war.
Greetings, nerd! Some of you already knew that this was coming, since Era of Ruin revealed that my theory was correct, that in fact primarchs are indeed entities of the warp, proto-gods, archetypes, and not some shards of the Emperor. Then it is our job now to understand what were the entities he took. Since this is the first installment in the series, then of course I have to talk about the first primarch, Lionel Johnson. I came to a lot of conclusions about him after reading Lion, Son of the Forest. So, if you don't want me to spoil anything, then I suggest instead of watching this video, you grab a 30-day trial for Audible in the pinned comment and go listen to that book for free. Once you are done, come back and watch it. Please subscribe because I just want my legion to grow. And with that said, let's begin, shall we? The Lion's story begins with the savage world of Caliban that forged him, but even that harsh upbringing is not what truly defines him. What matters is not his origin, but his nature. He's not just a warrior, not just a general. He is a living force of nature, a predator perfected over time. Among all the Emperor's sons, few could rival his savage brilliance when it came to the hunt. The lion is the ultimate tracker, a being who can pursue anything no matter how well it hides. Warp-twisted monsters, demons that crawl through shadows, horrors that slip between the well of reality and the immaterium. None can escape him. It is as if something deep inside him, something beyond worlds, allows him to sense chaos as a wolf catches scent of prey carried on the wind. Where others are blind, he sees. Where others hesitate, he strikes without pause. From the very beginning of his campaigns, the Lion stood apart, not just through sheer power, but with relentless precision. He is the hunter who never rests, the sword that never dulls, the shadow that never loses its prey. Once the Lion sets his sight on a target, not even the warp itself can hide them. He follows corruption across star systems, across centuries, and through endless layers of deception. His senses are more than human. He feels the tremors of sin, he hears the pulse of treachery, and when he finds it, he destroys it completely. And chaos cannot touch him. Unlike so many of his brothers, the Lion is unique. His soul is a fortress, sealed, unyielding, untouchable. The great enemy cannot tempt him, and they know it. They never even try. Where Horus fell into pride, where Curse drowned in madness, where Fulgrim became a slave to his own weakness, the Lion stood apart. Cold, yes, and distant, which made him hard to love, but that coldness was his shield. He is incorruptible, not because he is morally superior, but because his soul has no cracks for chaos to dig into. The ruinous powers find nothing to grab hold of in him. In truth, they fear him, for he is not merely immune to corruption, he is its predator. His very existence is the counter to their nature, his purpose nothing less than the extermination of all they represent. The Lion is the weapon unleashed when everything else fails. Across the Great Crusade and the nightmare of the heresy, he was sent against the largest threats. Alien empires that spanned whole sectors, abominations born from the edge of reality, creatures of nightmare turned into flesh. He fought them all, and each time, no matter how bloodied, no matter how scarred, he came out victorious. The Lion does not run. He does not break, he endures. He hunts until the threat is ended. His battle tactics are both art and instinct. Gilman designs sprawling campaigns. Dorn builds iron walls of defense, but the Lion hunts. His campaigns often begin in silence. A system goes dark, a fortress lies abandoned. Then comes the storm. Swift strikes, crushing force, the enemy broken before they even realized they were prey. In combat, he is more than a strategist and more than a swordsman. He is instinct embodiment. His skill in dueling is legendary. He does not merely react, he already knows. His reflexes work on a level that feels almost like foresight. Blades are parried before the enemy has finished deciding to strike. Among his brothers, few dare to test him in a single combat, and none could ever say they truly defeated him. Only Conrad Curse, in one of their most savage battles, came close, but even then, the lion's blade found its mark. He can fight in silence, striking unseen, or he can roar like a god of war, leading his sons into the thick of battle. Covert raids or full invasions, it makes no difference. Wherever the lion stands, momentum shifts, battles turn, and enemies crumble. Then came his silence. For 10,000 years, the lion lay beneath the rock, shrouded in legend and mystery. Many believed him dead, a ghost of the past. But now, when the galaxy burns brighter with heresy than ever before, he has returned. And he is not the same. The lion has awakened, changed, carrying with him a gift whispered about by those who have seen him appear and vanish like a phantom across war zones. Some say it is a pocket dimension, a shadowy world that reflects the ancient forest of Caliban, where he first learned to hunt and kill. Others believe it is his own personal realm carved out of the warp, a sanctuary immune to chaos, willed into being by his own iron spirit and the Emperor's blessing. This realm, sometimes called the Mirror Caliban, serves as both shelter and weapon. The lion steps into it as one might step into a dream, disappearing from one place only to re-emerge light years away. Within this realm, time and space mean nothing, and the lion reigns supreme. He uses it to cross war zones unseen, to strike from impossible angles, to appear when hope is at its lowest. It is as though the soul of Caliban itself lives within him now, its dark forests lending him their strength. The enemies of the Imperium have no defense against this. Their fortresses fall without warning. Their champions find themselves face to face with a legend made flesh. His eyes still burn with the same cold fury as before, but now there is something more, something deeper. The ancient hunter has returned, not only to kill, but to defend what remains of humanity. If you want to understand the lion, you have to throw out everything you think you know about heroes, leaders, and warriors, because he does not fit into any of those neat little boxes. Forget the shining image of a perfect knight, or the loud and glorious champion who inspires armies with thunderous speeches. That is not him. Lionel Johnson is something older, something sharper, something far more dangerous. He is not carved from marble or draped in gold. He does not shine like Sanguinius, blazing with angelic light, nor does he build vast empires like Gilliman, mapping out the stars with careful logic. The lion is different. He is the shadow moving in the trees, the cold breath that brushes your neck before the strike, the ancient force that refuses to be broken no matter what he faces. If his brothers are flames, storms, or radiant suns, the lion is night, steel, and silence. From the very beginning, he stood apart. He was shaped in darkness. Caliban, his home, was a cursed world where monsters prowled the endless forests, and there he grew up, not among people, but among silence, solitude, and predators. Those woods were his first teachers. They did not teach him songs of brotherhood or shining codes of honor. They taught him how to hunt, how to track, how to strike, and most importantly, how to rule through sheer control. And so, the boy became the hunter, and the hunter became the lion. Patience, precision, mastery, these were his tools, and he embodied them completely. He carries with him a strange gift, a sense that goes beyond skill and brushes against prophecy itself. He can feel the presence of corruption like a change in the wind, pierce through lies as though they were mist, and anticipate threats before they even reveal themselves. Some say it is a psychic ability. Others whisper it is simply his soul, forever attuned to the scent of fear, imbalance, and sin, like a predator's nose for blood. Whatever it is, it has made him the Imperium's greatest tracker, the relentless hunter from whom no servant of chaos can hide for long. But do not mistake his control for emptiness, because inside him burns a fire of willpower that never fades. It is not the roaring blaze of Vulcan or the wild energy of Russ. It is colder, harder, a flame that endures even when everything else fails. The lion does not break, he does not bend, even when trapped in despair, even when gnawed by doubt, he keeps moving forward. This is his greatest strength, the very thing that makes him incorruptible. Chaos, which feeds on cracks and weaknesses, finds nothing to grasp inside him. His soul is sealed like a fortress against the storm, and no whisper, no temptation, no power can move him. Yet this iron strength is also the flaw that cuts deepest. Because while it makes him incorruptible, it also leaves him alone. He is not the leader who rouses men with brotherhood and laughter, nor the one who lifts spirits with promises of glory. He does not charm, he does not inspire, he commands. His sons follow because he is terrifyingly correct, because his precision makes failure impossible, or because they fear disappointing him. He is set apart, not because he thinks himself superior, but because he cannot help but to be anything else. Isolation is his nature. He stands alone, even among his brothers, the eternal outsider. And sometimes, though rarely, cracks appear in the armor. A flicker of hesitation, a fleeting memory, a softer moment that slips through before it is buried once more under duty. The lion does not linger, he does not explain, he does not grieve, he acts. He always acts, and now, since his return, all of this has only grown sharper. 10,000 years of slumber have not weakened him. It made him slower, yes, but it also has refined him, hardened him into something even more deadly. He has changed. He is no longer just a primarch, but something beyond, something sharpened into a finer edge. He is not flawless. His rigidity blinds him to subtlety. His cold judgment makes him harsh and unyielding. He sees the galaxy in stark contrasts, in threats and justice, with little room for the gray in between. He is often too cold, too swift to punish, too slow to forgive. He expects others to be as relentless and unwavering as he is, and when they falter, he cannot understand it. He crushes weakness where he finds it. At least, that was the lion of old, the lion who once walked the stars. But the one who has awakened is something new. In 10,000 years, he has evolved. I have been thinking about the lion, and I have come to a theory, not just about him as a warrior or a general, but as something much older, something closer to legend than man, a myth that has taken flesh again. Among the deepest vaults of imperial lore and the oldest whispers of forgotten mystics, there is an idea, one that never quite goes away. It isn't canon, it isn't official doctrine, but it lingers. And the more you think about it, the more it feels like the truth. The idea is this: since we know that the Emperor stole something from the warp to create the souls of primarchs, that the lion could carry the soul or the echo of Kernunos, an ancient god of old earth, long buried beneath lost religions and imperial dogma. Kernunos, they say, was the god of wild places, of the hunt, of thresholds and balance, a figure who stood between life and death, a guardian who kept order between what was tamed and what was untamed. And if you want to understand the lion, you must understand that he too exists in the same space between. He was not raised in places of steel and halls of marble, but in the suffocating wilderness of Caliban, a planet of endless forest and endless monsters. Beneath the broken moon, among towering trees and lurking horrors, he grew into more than a survivor. He became the apex predator, the perfect hunter. And what he did there was not simple conquest, it was something closer to communion. He was the blade of the forest, not its destroyer. His war against the beasts of Caliban was not fought for trophies or glory, but for balance, to keep the order of predator and prey intact. Just like Cernunnos, who ruled not for domination but to maintain the natural cycle, the lion's hunts were judgments. Each kill a right, each strike a grim necessity. The way the lion wages war carries this same weight. He does not explode in fury like Angron, nor spread terror like Curse. He studies, he waits, he measures, and when he strikes, it is not with a roar, but with silence. His violence is never without purpose. He does not see corruption as just an enemy, but as a sickness that must be cut away with precision. His campaigns are not battles alone, they are rituals, each war a grim ceremony. In this, he is more than a tactician or a warrior. He is the knife of nature itself, sharpened not by training but by necessity. Cernunnos was set to dwell on the edge of things, between seasons, between life and death, always guarding the turning of the wheel. The lion is the same, a warden of thresholds. He is the dividing line between order and chaos, between the fragile light of the Imperium and the endless hunger of the dark. Since his return, this connection has only grown stronger. He now moves not only through real space, but across a strange spectral woodland that seems to mirror Caliban itself. It is not quite of the warp, and not entirely of the material realm, but it belongs to him. It is something in between, just like his soul. It is his personal hunting ground, his sacred grove, born from the roots of his very soul. Those who have fought alongside him tell stories of moments when the battlefield seems to dim, when trees rise up from ash and steel, when the lion himself emerges as if stepping out of legend. Perhaps he truly does. His return carries no ceremony, no fanfare. He arrives like a shadow between lightning strikes, like the silence before the charge. He rarely speaks, but when he does, his words carry the finality of judgment, cutting through doubt, just as his blade cuts through heresy. His authority does not come from titles or bureaucracy. It radiates from him, as though he himself is the law of nature given form, the hunter sent to cut away the rot. And though he has changed since waking, though he is not quite the same as he was before, this change only deepens the myth. He has not simply awakened. He has been awakened, transformed into something more than even a primarch. Where once he was only a destroyer of threats, now he stands as a protector. Like the old cycle of death and rebirth tied to Cernunnos, the lion has returned, not to pick up his old role, but to finish what was left undone. The galaxy is not just broken anymore, it is dying, and he has not returned to grieve or to watch. He has returned to cleanse it. He walks across the stars like a god of judgment, erasing corruption with blade and silence, the final arbiter in a universe that spirals towards madness. So when you think of him, remember him as the guardian who stands on the threshold. Remember him as the echo of something older, something primal, reborn in this age of ending. He is not just JONSON the man. He is the will of the forest made flesh, a soul not created but remembered, a god reborn in the shape of a lion. If you enjoyed the video, then leave a like, subscribe, and use the brand new hype feature to help the channel grow. That is the best way you can support my content without spending a dime. And trust me when I say this, it will help massively. On your way out, grab the 30 days Audible trial to listen to Warhammer audiobooks for free. Check out Patreon for some cool art, and as always, join Discord for a friendly banter. With that said, this is the end of the briefing.